Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to the brand new Road. And we have been cooking a little bit behind the scenes. I've got two members of the rankings committee here with me, Daniel and Frosty. How you boys doing today?
Great.
I'm doing great.
Love to hear it. Now, obviously, guys, our first week is in the books. I mean, power rankings were a little scuffed to preseason shenanigans, not seeing teams. Speaking of teams we didn't get to see, we haven't seen the Infinity Creative starting roster yet, Frosty, but I'm sure you boys are cooking something over there.
Don't
But
worry.
we could take a little bit of a look at our matchups from week one. And I mean, there were some surprising results. Were you guys surprised that Twisted Isolation took a game off of SBC?
Yes, and even the fashion that they took the game on SBC, I believe 4-1, and even the first game I believe
Yeah,
was 1-0.
yeah. I
Despite
mean,
yeah.
they put up 13 in a row after that, 13 Odom in the final two games, but I mean, Frosty, we're all members of the rankings committee. Does that weigh in your mind when ranking these teams that at least for two games, Twisted Isolation like kept it close and looked good?
Yes and no. We all have bad games, so you can't really put it past
Mhm.
anybody. We're not perfect. We make mistakes, and sometimes we drop a game. You got to come back from it.
Fair enough. I mean, we saw how SBC bounced back. And speaking of bouncing back, I mean, Overlooked ended their preseason with a loss to Metal Turtles, kind of a shocking one on everyone's bingo cards. And Lotus kept it close, especially you think of Lotus, what happened in the preseason. Are we surprised that this went to 5? This was a really good series. Was this shocking to you guys at all?
Pretty shocking after I believe Lotus lost to a team that was 68 under Sal. While Overlook, I believe, has ran their full starting roster during the series.
Yeah,
Bar
they were
Guapo.
subbing people in and out, but Lotus also had their sub. Sugar wasn't playing. Guapo didn't start games 1 and 2. I hear Santo is the sub over there, and he played 4 of the 5 games, so maybe sub no longer. But also another game 5. 1NE versus Bloom. Now, obviously, we had the situation where 1NE forfeited game 1, but Team Bloom took a very convincing game 5 3-0 after it was looking like 1NE were actually going to get the best of them. I mean, how much does that weigh in you guys' mind? Maybe the forfeit, the fact that it ended emphatically, or do you think these teams are on the same level?
In my opinion, no. I think by the end of the series, Bloom was taking it to win any, and if they did have that fifth game, I think it would have been in Bloom's favor easily. What do you think, Frosty?
I think Bloom is the better team, although it went to such a late round, even with a forfeited game. I still think they are the better
Yeah.
team in my books.
Fair enough. Now, I mean, I'd say this is another shocker. Hydra versus HSA. Cammy Neutron put up some Herculean numbers in this series. I mean, he went off on them. And I mean, when we look at this game, HSA were kind of more considered a top 10 team, maybe falling off a bit. Maybe it was a bit too much preseason hype. I mean, for Hydra, they look good. Going to be interesting. Now, Frosty, this series you know a bit too well. You didn't play with Dairy Cow. You were 62 under Sal, but you took him to overtime. He kept a 1 goal game, and then game 3 was 2 goals, but there was a garbage time goal at the end, so I can't consider that 1
Yeah.
goal game. Do you think, from you guys' opinion, with LSV hardly beating an IC that was 62 under Sal, is that more of a reflection of Lone Star velocity, maybe not, maybe struggling a bit, or is that more of a reflection of the tenacity of Infinity Creative?
So, in my unbiased
Expert
opinion,
opinion.
expert opinion, for what we had at the time, it was a great performance on all players on the pitch. But with us being such understyle, I think that it just shows a little bit more of a willing to kind of make good with what you have
Make do.
and make do and just do your best, and we kept it close.
Fair enough. What about for you,
Mm.
Daniel? Is this more of an inflection of IC or LSV?
In my opinion, just playing against a team that has 6200 so if you're playing your starting roster, there's no excuse for it to be as close as it was for Lone Star versus Infinity Creative. I believe first game went to OT, and the other two were basically 1-goal games.
Yeah, that's how I'm kind of thinking now. I mean, we're going to reveal the power rankings a little bit later, and the official power rankings from everyone will come out later tonight. But I mean, I feel like this is more of a reflection of LSV. I definitely think they moved down in the power rankings. We'll have to wait and see. But I mean, hardly beating a team that far under Sal that had a low GC1 instead of a high GC2 definitely raises some eyebrows. Shout out Zohan in the chat. I stole this idea from Zohan and his league, Zero Boost Federation. Welcome, Zohan. We welcome to the Road to Champions podcast. For all of you guys just tuning in, if you missed the intro, Road to Champions podcast will happen every week on Tuesday. Time will vary a little bit with games, but we go over the previous week, the player of the week, standings, playoff race, and then we look ahead to the new week with power rankings and predictions. And I mean, as we keep this one going, Reapers versus Nameless. This was a surprisingly close series. Now, Reapers did drop a game when they put in their sub, but I mean, outside of that, though, it was close, and Nameless actually outshot Reapers by, I think, 12. Is this a testament to the Reapers defense, or is Nameless offense looking a little hot?
Well, I think it's more so Reaper's defense, as you'll see soon enough.
Okay. Well, it's actually a testament to both, because you can put up all the shots you want, but if there's somebody in goal willing to defend and is able to defend, it shows their ability to defend.
Yeah, but at the same time, too, if you can't get the ball out of your defensive half, may not spell good things for you. But speaking of defense, Galactic versus Tier 1. This was a series with no defense, chat. Galactic showed up without a fieldable roster, grabbed an emergency sub, and Cubnuts with one of the best single game performances in CL history. 1254 points with 6 goals and 4 saves. Now, a lot of them were empty netters. Galactic's defense is questionable. And we started to wonder, hey, Tier 1 are looking pretty good. Galactic then, I believe it was like 4-0 against them. A bunch of bad defense. And then it kind of mellowed out through the rest of the way, but there was still some bad defense. I mean, after a series like that, definitely maybe need a bit more defense. Now, this was a series I didn't get to watch, but I think this is one of our shockers of the week. Big Dub Gaming, who were power ranked 18th, keeping it close with Lag, who were power ranked 4th. Are Big Dub Gaming a dark horse, or is Lag frauds? What do you guys think?
Frosty, you can go first.
Okay. Well, didn't really watch it, but I do know the players. I do know the players pretty well. Big Dub is kind of underrated in my opinion. So for them to keep it that close was pretty good.
I believe during that series, it was Visions Visions and Oni just bringing it to each other, just actually carrying each their teams to that, I believe, 5-game series, right?
Yeah, 5 games. I mean, the thing to note is Lag were playing with an emergency sub for their low rank, but I think that it's a lot less impactful when it's for your low rank instead of your high rank. And I mean, everyone has sung their praises about Oni and Life Story and how good they are. So to get matched by Visions and Jetwind was definitely surprising for me. Now, Lag did close it out pretty well in games 4 and 5, but BTG were up 2-1 in that series. That's the thing. So who knows, Frosty? I think you're a little bit right. I think that BDG maybe are a bit underrated. We'll have to see what the Power Rankings Committee thinks of it. But now we get to what was one of our predicted matches of the week. Most Hated versus Thunderbolts. People were favoring Most Hated. Now this one went back and forth between the committee, but Thunderbolts came out on top in game 5. It looked a bit shaky from both teams though. Do you guys think that factors into rankings when a team wins, but it's a shaky win against another shaky team?
To be fair, both of these teams are top of the net. Probably two of the best 4 teams in CL. It's going to
Yeah.
be close no matter what. So I can't really fault for each team for playing close
What about
against
you,
a close
Frosty?
competitor.
I completely agree with Daniel
Fair
said.
enough.
I mean, you have 2 top teams in the league, and I don't think it'll ever be a sweep like we see for the lower half teams.
Yeah, speaking of sweeps, the debut of Phoenix went down in a fiery mess. As that series, I mean, they kept it close games 2 and 3, but Metal Turtles ultimately swept them. Now, Metal Turtles are a team I feel like are kind of heavily disputed. There's question marks around them. Phoenix, I mean, not a lot of people have high hopes yet. I think this is a team that needs more time to grow together, but right now it's not looking good. But speaking of someone who looks good, we officially have our player of the week. Our player of the week is going to be Rob from CSA. It was a tight one between him and Cammy Neutron. It sparked a 2-hour long debate between the rankings committee. I will tell you that.
Oh.
But I mean, we've never seen a player put up the kind of saves he was putting up. The goals and assists, maybe not the prettiest, but it was also a low scoring series. And I feel like the series was low scoring because of all those saves. Rob averaged 4 saves per game. Absolutely insane. And the score per game is also insane. Guys, I mean, people had high hopes for Rob, but does this just solidify him as one of the scariest players in CL? Or are you kind of like, hey, maybe lacking that offensive hand?
I believe. Mm, I don't know actually. Yes, saves are very important, but just the amount of goals just hurts in my opinion. But the saves keep him, in my opinion, one of the best.
Fair enough. Frosty, what about you?
I do believe there could have been more goals with it being a 3-1 win in that series. I do believe he could have had more goals, but the saves do just say he's pretty good at defense.
Fair enough. And I feel like this is kind of being disputed amongst the rankings committee and others. I mean, all you need to win a game of Rocket League is 1-0. Now, I definitely would love to see some more goals next week. There were a good amount of players that scored more goals, but his saves count was just that much higher. Like for context, Cammy Neutron, who was our close second for player of the week, averaged 2.5 goals per game and 1.5 saves per game. Rob averaged 1.5 goals per game and 4 saves per game. Like that was kind of the big difference maker. But yeah. I definitely think maybe the offensive totals could be higher, but that's the thing. You don't need to put up monstrous numbers to win necessarily. But congratulations to Rob on player of the week. Now, boys, we've been looking at the players, but time to look at some teams. Here are our official standings after week 1. And I mean, any shockers here that really catch your eye?
I would say Metal Turtles topping the Hefest division, which in my opinion is probably the best division in this league right now.
I
Yeah,
think
no.
Anyone
yeah,
fight me?
I think so too. Now the thing to note is obviously there's multiple 1-0 teams, and those are all game fives. But I feel like lag going to game five is a surprise. Thunderbolts versus Most Hated we knew would be a bloodbath, but it's early on. And if you're wondering what those colors mean, we can take a little bit of a look at the playoff race. So top of each division gets an automatic 1 through 4 seed for playoffs. The green means you had the next four best records start in the upper bracket. The yellow, which is the 9th through 12th, they start in the lower bracket. And if you're kind of wondering what I'm talking about, the official playoff picture right now is looking like this. And yes, it's early on, but you can see those teams in the yellow are starting in the lower bracket. So it's not only a fight to win your division to make playoffs, it's a fight to get into the upper bracket to start. And that's what makes this interesting is between the four division leaders, there's the fight for the 1 seed. There's the fight for division leader to get a top 4 seed. There's the fight for top 8, and then there's the fight for top 12. And definitely, I mean, some of the divisions are going to be bloodbaths. Let's be honest, boys. Taking a look back at those standings, I mean, it's heavily agreed upon Hephaestus and Poseidon could be bloodbath divisions, especially Poseidon early on, and they're looking good. And I mean, right now, I think Hephaestus is better, but I think Poseidon will overtake them. And Gaia is being called the Cupcake Division, but
For good
who
reason.
knows? That's the thing is looking at the playoff race. It's early on. It's too early to count out any teams or anything like that. You get a bad loss, yada yada. But some teams already have some ground to make up. Some teams are 0-3. Some are 3-0. I mean, those teams are feeling bad and feeling good. But I wonder what the rankings committee thinks of these teams. Let's find out the new power rankings for this week. Any shockers? What do we notice?
Lag.
Lone Star going down too, despite
Yeah.
sweeping their series this week.
Yeah, I think lag is the biggest dropper. So if you're looking at the position is compared to the week 1 power rankings. Lag dropped from 4th to 9th. I think also one that may confuse people is LSV dropping, but I think that's because they hardly beat a team 62 under Sal. And our biggest risers, Reapers and BDG, both coming out of Gaia. Now, opposite ends of the power rankings, of course, but I mean, definitely interesting. I feel like also, I mean, you can see the movements kind of near the bottom. There is just some light jostling, but at the top, especially top 10, really some moves being made. What do you guys think? It's kind of too early for power rankings to matter, or do you think it's really influential to see teams falling or raising this early on?
It's in my opinion, it's way too early. Anything can happen. Teams could not play well together anymore. Teams could be the greatest with practice throughout the season. So
Mm-hmm. Completely agree with Frosty right there.
Frosty.
Yeah. Also, by the way, chat, the average, keep in mind there were 11 people who did rankings on this. So these are averaged out of 11 people's opinions. So if you're where you're at, you really deserve to be where you at. Like that is the general consensus. Now, it's really funny. We see some teams fighting for close positions, like Most Hated, Reapers, Bloom. They're all within 0.4 of each other, yada yada. Phoenix and Galactic are fighting for the wrong thing. They're it's got to turn around for them. But something else I noticed is the kind of, I mean, Lotus rising a little bit, but you can see that even with the subs playing for Lotus and Overlooked, the rankings committee thought it was more of a reflection on Overlooked and dropped them compared to a reflection of Lotus and raising them. And HSA dropped a little bit as well. You see Nameless and Tier 1 moving up. But it's just interesting to see how these are going to change over the next week. And I mean, who knows how this next week is going to go, guys? Maybe we could talk about that a little bit. Here is the matchups for week 2. Now, we have some predictions from the rankings committee. Frosty, what are people thinking for HSA versus SBC?
So I don't know too much about these people, but I do, in my opinion, from what I've seen from Spacebound, not Space Boys, I think they take it 3-1.
Fair enough. That's the general consensus for this match. Is SBC on the uptrend, are looking to move up. But Daniel, what I mean, are you in agreement with that, or do you think HSA got a little bit of magic?
No, I think they do worse. Actually, I think they get 3-0. Honestly, the last maybe actually the first 2 games against Hydra, they look completely outclassed, and against a team like SBC, I think that will happen again.
Fair enough. I mean, I personally have HSA taken a game, but I don't think this series is going to be very pretty for them. And it's definitely going to be one we have to keep a close eye on. That will be happening tonight at 9 p.m., by the way. Now, we're running a little short on time here. Overlook versus Twisted Isolation. Do Twisted Isolation have it in them, or are they kind of falling flat again?
Falling flat.
I think they'll barely get a game. They looked good enough in the first 2 games against SBC.
Maybe. I do have the list of the official predictions. This is averaged out from the rankings committee. So this isn't what everyone agreed to, but this is an average. We can take a little bit of a look. And again, these are just the average of the predictions. But looking through them, a lot of 3-1s. I mean, now the surprise thing is 1NE versus LSV is projected to be close. I think that's definitely one you kind of look at, but also Lotus versus Bloom. Lotus had a good showing with their sub. Do you guys think they have it against Team Bloom, or are Team Bloom legit?
I think you can go first, Rusty.
Yeah, sorry. I think Lotus will at least have 2, but Bloom would probably pull ahead in my books.
In my opinion, I haven't seen a reason to doubt Bloom yet, so I have them 3-1.
I have them 3-1 as well. I just haven't seen enough out of Lotus. Hydra versus Infinity Creative. I'm sorry, Frosty. The rankings committee thinks Hydra continues the hot streak. Now, 1NE versus LSV. How do you guys think this goes? Because this was one where, for the first time on this list, at least as we go down it, there was disagreements about who wins. Who do you guys have taking this?
I mean, you can go first, Rusty.
Okay. Well, from my expert opinion, I know LSV. I know how they play. I just think it's right, but maybe you're giving a little bit too much credit, because we were over 60 under Sal and they could hardly manage to pull ahead of us. So I think 1NE has a 3-1.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning more towards 3-0, 3-1 for 1NE. But Daniel, how about you?
Realistically, I do believe 1NE should be taking this, but there's gonna be upsets throughout this entire season, and I think this series will be one of those upsets. LC, I feel like, can basically win any series just randomly. I feel like they're one of those teams.
Interesting. I don't know. Maybe this is it, but Nameless versus Most Hated. Now, Nameless coming off of a loss, Most Hated coming off of a loss, but Most Hated looked shaky in that series. I mean, they are the favorites to win. No one disagrees, but this is one that people think is going to be a bit closer. Uh, I mean, is this really going to be close, guys? Nameless had a lot of offense in their series against Reapers, and Most Hated kind of cracked under the pressure of the offense. Do we really think this is this close or no?
I think
my
that
opinion,
it's sorry. Um,
yeah.
I think it's pretty spot on in my opinion.
In
I
my
agree.
opinion, uh, if Nameless can shoot, it's close. If it can't, it's easy 3-0 for most hated, bro.
Fair enough. I think Nameless keep this close. I don't think they win it though. Reapers versus Galactic. We don't need to go over this one. I hate to say it. Now, BDG
Yeah, not gonna
versus
lie.
Tier 1. This is the most controversial game amongst the rankings committee. It was split 6-6 down the middle. Or sorry, 5-6 on this game about who wins. Not just what the series score was, who wins. These BDG's on the uptrend. Tier 1, a little bit questionable against Galactic, but Cubnuts sure look good. What do you guys think about this?
In my opinion, Big Dub looks very good against Lag, but and Tier 1, despite losing that one blowout game against Galactic, they looked clearly the better team against Galactic in those other 2 games they played. So, it's so close, but I'd give it a Tier 1. Just had the winning mentality after winning their first week.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't put it any other way. It's going to be close. I mean, they're so close and I would say skill level that it could go either way, but I do have tier 1.
Fair enough. I think I have tier 1 here too. I'd love to see a surprise from BDG, but I think that's that. Metal Turtles versus Thunderbolts, I think, is pretty straightforward. A lot of people give Metal Turtles a game, but Thunderbolts, the clear 1 seed right now. Lag versus Phoenix. I mean, I think we're all hoping for a bounce back from Phoenix. Lag, definitely, this is a game you got to win. After that first week, this is a game you got to win and prove you're legit. I think you guys both agree with that, with both of those things.
Yes.
Fair enough. Now, guys, that's gonna about wrap up our show. We're going to have the series between Most Hated versus Nameless Esports answered in about 5 minutes. So we're gonna have to see how that one turns out. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here on the Road to Champions podcast. Please stick around. We're going to go right into the game after about a 5-minute break. Rob is in the chat. Rob, you definitely missed a lot. I sent it to your DMs, but I'll show a quick little blooper. Congratulations on Player of the Week, just barely. But guys, that's going to be the end of the show. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Normally, it's me, Daniel, and Ufin on this desk. Ufin has a game in 5 minutes, so he couldn't be here. Frosty was our honorary guest of the week. Frosty, thank you so much for joining us. But, ladies and gentlemen, we will have to see how these matches turn out. We're about to find out tonight. We will see you all in a little bit. Take care.
Peace.
Welcome back, everybody. We have our first match of the night. It's going to be a good one. I mean, I've got my boy Twix here. Twix, are you excited for this matchup?
Always have been, always will be. Most hated versus nameless. It's gonna be a pretty close matchup tonight in this best of 5 series. Who do you think's gonna take this one?
I think it's most hated, but most hated look kind of shaky in their 3-2 loss to Thunderbolts. Nameless though, I mean, they put on a lot of shots in their 3-1 loss against Reapers last week, but the shooting just wasn't accurate enough. I mean, they outshot them by 12 and got outscored. So, and they lost that series 3-1. So, I think it definitely is going to come down to the shooting tonight for Nameless and the defense tonight for Most Hated. But we're gonna get ready to go as this one gets ready. I mean, this is one that the Power Rankings Committee was very unsure of about how this would go. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have our match set. We are good to go. So we're going to get into this one. And game 1 is underway.
As we are kicking it off here, Nameless already showing the dominant team as Shadow, just 7 seconds in, gonna score this nice one. Ufin gonna stay on that ball right until it's off the backboard. Perfect pass to Shadow, and they will take the 1-0 lead 7 seconds in.
Yeah, and I mean, you love getting that lead early on. And again, the shooting was the issue for Nameless last week. So to start off the shooting one for one, probably feel good. Zufin's gonna have a 1 versus 1 with Jimbo. Jimbo makes a great save though. And Twisted J9 in an awkward spot. That may have just been pinched down. J9 has to get back to it, and he's not gonna be able to, as Jimbo will roll it in. And just a nice little touch as Twisted J9 was just too far forward.
I'm not gonna lie, Jimbo's save on the goal line there, I was kind of shocked, but Twisted J9 just couldn't get back in time for that one. Jimbo, the cross-map goal to tie this game up immediately. We're not even 30 seconds in, we're already having some goals here in game 1 of this series, as a little bit of cat and mouse gameplay by both of them, but Josig's gonna try and drive in as Midnight's gonna box him out. Ufin's gonna get the clear, gonna beat Midnight to it. Looks like Jimbo with a fake challenge to get Ufin jumping a little bit, but he's gonna get beat by Shadow on it. Could J9 be up for the goal? He is. He gonna go for a double, not gonna get it. Ooh, Ufin was up. Oh my goodness, what a save. Holy moly, I couldn't even see what happened. That is a crazy save by Jimbo to not go down 1 goal here. Jimbo really playing the defense he could. 3 saves in just over a minute of game time, as another double commit by Nameless happening here. J9 gets it towards the backboard, but gonna get shut down immediately. The defense by Most Hated is really showing up after that first goal, just 7 seconds into this one. But this game mode will be kind of back and forth, I believe, as it already is. Just a minute 30 into this. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, Midnight's gotta show up for this. 8 points.
Yeah, that's the thing, is Midnight is the lowest rank in this lobby at Diamond 2, and that's the cost of getting the GC3 and Jimbo. And I mean, he's been showing his value so far, but that's one of the questions, is can Midnight get involved for his team? Now, it is 1-1, but Most Hated have been under a lot of fire. But it's the shooting that we were talking about for Nameless, and I wouldn't even say they've had bad shooting so far this game. There's just been even better saves, as that's a shot for sure on the wrong net from Jose. But Jimbo now gonna take this down to the other end of the pitch, and Ufin just completely whiffed the ball, and Jimbo will double here with 2 goals to his name.
I can't tell if Jimbo just faked that or if Ufin just missed it, but all is good. Jimbo really coming out as Most Hated's MVP right now, outscoring both of his teammates by a lot here. Going up 1, 2:40 left in this game, as Jose is going to go for another one off the glass. Is Jimbo there? And it's in! Little miscommunication on the back post by Nameless, but they just Wow, what a shot. Twisted J9 didn't see that slow one rolling in, and it's right over him. And Jimbo gonna put his team on his back here in game one, setting his team up 3-1 in game one of the series.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're Jimbo, you're feeling good. They took a tough loss to the Thunderbolts, who were power ranked at number 1. Most Hated were still power ranked at number 2, but I mean, they want to prove why they belong at number 1 and why they're actually better than Thunderbolts, as this passing play is going to work out beautifully. And there's just no one home for Nameless. And I mean, this team was power ranked at 12th. And yes, it's 2 versus 12 in terms of power rankings, but I feel like it started off so good for Nameless, and then the defense has just since fallen apart.
I can totally agree here, as J9's going to take a shot, but it's saved once again by Jimbo. Jimbo really wanting this. I think he wants the player of the week here, kind of fighting for Rob's spot, as he has just barely under 900 points as he takes a shot. Jose is up for it, and another great defensive stop that they really need here. Just over 245 in this game, coming down to the wire, as Midnight's going to try and take a shot, but Ufin's going to deny it here. Shadow way down, but Jimbo's just there again to save it. Jimbo going to take a shot on net, and it's not in just yet. Jose follow-up, saved by Ufin at the goal line. Great save, as Jimbo's still going to keep the play in. Looks like he's going to try and find Jose for the pass, but it's going to get shut down by Shadow, and we are going the other way with it, as Ufin's going to clear off the backboard from the pass from Shadow JT. Shadow JT off the backboard, gonna get shut down by Midnight. There's Midnight coming in with this great defense, as Ufin gonna eat my words a little bit. Ufin's gonna slot that just down the middle of the goal to not be out of this game yet. 2-4, Most Hated still leads.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want if you are Nameless. I mean, maybe this game is just a bit too far gone, but I mean, you definitely want to get the offense going. I kind of get the nerves gone, because when you get blown out in a game, like, it can really tank your mental. So to try to at least end it slightly even would be good. And I mean, there still is time for a comeback, but I think just with the way this game has gone, I'm not quite sure if Nameless have that in their arsenal, as this one's bouncing into the net yet again, and Shadow just caught out of position on the back line, and Jose will capitalize.
That may have been the dagger for this game one. All 3 Most Hated players up for that one, but Jose is not going to let that slide, as he's going to take it from both Midnight and Jimbo. Jimbo just over that 900 point mark, really setting the tone of this game for both Nameless and Most Hated, as he's going to beat Ufin to the ball, but J9's up for it. Jose going to pass it up to Jimbo. Jimbo looking for a shot, and he is going to get it. Wow, the pass play by Jose to Jimbo. Oh my goodness. Most Hated is showing up today, as Jimbo over the 1,000 point mark with the dish by Jose to go up 6-2 and take a commanding 4-point lead in game one.
Yeah, and I mean, this is just the Jimbo show, and this is why he was brought onto this team. Obviously, bringing on a GC3 comes with some risks and some downsides, and the fact that your third man has to be lower ranked, but it's kind of been proven here that it doesn't really matter for this team. Midnight had I mean, 76. I thought it was going to be higher than that. But when that's just kind of how it goes. Especially when your teammate, I mean, who knows, maybe you can say, hi, Jimbo's hogging the ball and it's not my fault I couldn't score. But who knows? Jimbo's doing exactly what he's supposed to, though. And now for Nameless Esports, Twix, what do they need to do to turn this one around? I
saw a little bit of miscommunication on the defensive side for Nameless. A lot of double commits. J9 not going to get back in time for most of the plays here. Not going to get up in time for most of the offensive plays. Just a lot of Nameless. What they need to do is to communicate better on the defensive side, and for all three players just to be ready for that one shot on net or for the attack when they're going on offense, because I've seen a lot of Nameless just kind of ball hogging a little bit, not going for pass plays, not doing a lot of what they need to be doing here in this series. As we kick off game 2, will they come back, or will Most Hated just take this commanding game 2 win?
I don't know. I think Nameless need to keep this one close. I don't think you can go into a shootout like you did in the last game, because I think that's where you're going to suffer, and Jimbo scores already.
It's just and Jimbo scores already. Like, it's like you know it's coming. Jimbo setting the tone already in this game here. Going up 1, just 23 seconds in. Will Nameless be able to come back from this stunner, or Midnight's gonna say Jimbo 1K again? And speaking of Midnight, he's gonna clear it to the backboard here, hoping to set up Jimbo maybe for another one. But Jimbo is backside. Looks like he's gonna take it back corner. Twisted J9's gonna try and get a demo here, and oh my goodness, could this be a double? And it's off the crossbar. Unfortunate for Jimbo, looking for that second goal of this game here. Oh, they might just feed him. They might just feed him to it. Oh my goodness, Jimbo up for a double. Oh, he got the double, but not gonna get the shot. Not what Jimbo's looking for here to try and take a commanding 2-0 lead, as Jose is gonna take a shot and gonna go for a little finish here, and he will. Jose finishes at the goal line, 2-0. Most Hated leads once again.
A great job by Most Hated. I mean, this team just works together perfectly as a cohesive unit, and Nameless Esports just don't really have a response. I mean, what player are you looking at, Twix, to really step up for Nameless Esports?
I mean, all of Nameless needs to step up. J9 has been bottom of Nameless leaderboard both last game and this game already, but Shadow and Ufin really putting in the work, as they're kind of neck and neck, as Jose is going to dish Jimbo for the third goal. Again, that defense, the miscommunication on defense is really going to bite them here in this series. As what a redirect by Jimbo. Great pass from Jose, and they will go up 3-0. Just 3:27 to play. Will Nameless be able to get back to not go down 2-0 and be put on match point?
Yeah, I know this Nameless team can be better than this. I'm friends with all of these guys, and we know what they can do when they are working together, as we see it there. A great dunk by Twisted J9, and Midnight just no boost and a bad position here to go for this one. And who knows, maybe Nameless start the comeback.
I mean, I can see it come back. The game's not over yet. We aren't even 3 minutes in, but Shadow's going to take a shot on net and denied by Jimbo. Great save here, as Jimbo's going to try and take possession. Ufin really hustling for that ball, trying to get his team back in this. As Shadow's up, going to go off the sidewall. Will Ufin be there in time? Because Midnight's not going to save it, but Jimbo on the ground. Going to play the waiting game here a little bit. J9, the diamond, up for that ball here. Going to send it to the corner. Jose and Jimbo up for that ball, but it's still cleared no matter what. Midnight, great 50, gonna dunk Ufin here just to get it past half field. Shadow, shot on net, denied by Jimbo. Once again, Jimbo putting in the work on offense and defense here in game 2. He's going up, looking for it. No boost. Will he be able to fake it? Midnight shot, denied by Shadow. Jimbo looking for another one. Shadow again, saved at the goal line, gonna waterfall down. Jimbo shot off the crossbar. Here comes Ufin pushing the other way after a great defensive stop by Nameless. Jimbo and Shadow both up for that. Looks like Jimbo's going to get it. Uh-oh. Twisted J9 not going to get there in time. Ufin saved at the goal line. Nameless, we've been talking about him all game. Going to step up that defense now. Twisted going to try and get it to Shadow, but not going to get it in time. Oh my goodness, Ufin go off. Another save at the goal line here for Nameless. Trying not to go down 4-1 here. As Twisted might feed it to Jose, but Ufin there for the 50. Ufin up, looking for a shot. Gonna get denied though. Off the corner, Midnight. Great 50 by Twisted J9 here. But Ufin, oh my pinch. Great thing, Midnight was back for that. Ufin up, gonna kind of dish it midfield to Jimbo. Gonna take a shot, but Shadow denies it once again. Here comes the defense we've been talking about all series by Nameless. Bad double commit here by Shadow and Twisted J9. But it looks like Jimbo gonna take it from his corner, gonna beat Twisted. Looking for a little catch here, not gonna get it. Shadow gonna get a great 50, that's a shot. Another save by Ufin. Oh my goodness, just go off. Oh, that's not the greatest touch by Ufin, but he's not gonna get a bad position here to put Nameless in a decent spot here. Oh, wait, the goal's kind of open, though. Here comes Ufin pushing the other way, looking for a pass mid. Oh, and Jimbo with the demo. Shadow out of the play immediately. Here comes J9 looking for a dish middle. Oh, no! Ufin had the shot on net, but J9, a little bit bad miscommunication by J9 all game, it feels like, here in this stunner. 30 seconds left as Nameless hasn't let them score since, but will they be able to score to maybe get back into this game? Reset. Gonna not beat Jimbo, though. 15 seconds left on this clock. Jimbo looking for the last one to seal it. Not gonna get it. J9, save. Look for a shot, and that is not gonna get it in time. Shadow off the back. We're looking for Ufin. Ufin off the crossbar, and that should be the game here, as the ball's gonna touch the net, and Most Hated's gonna put Nameless on match point here in game 2.
Yeah, I mean, Jimbo, just another good performance, and just, I mean, it was better defense from Nameless, yes, but you can see the shots are just grossly disproportionate here. And, I mean, Power Rankings Committee had this one being 3-2. We thought Nameless were going to bounce back a lot more, and they just haven't. And I mean, I just wonder what's going on. We know Most Hated are a top team, but it feels like it can be better than this out of Nameless. And I mean, Twix, is there one player you're really looking at to turn this around?
I'm not going to say one, I'm going to say two. I think Shadow and Ufin, if they just work together a little bit on offense, because the defense was amazing here by both Ufin and Shadow to not go down 4-1, but they did let 3 goals in. I think if Ufin and Shadow can come back on the offensive side, then this game could potentially be theirs on match point, as we're coming into Sovereign Heights with Nameless looking to not get swept here in the first matchup of week 2. Most Hated leads 2-0 in this series, and we are on match point. Right off the kickoff, I'm not gonna lie, Nameless already looking for a little change in pace here, as Midnight's gonna take a shot, but J9 gonna get saved here at the goal line. J9's coming in clutch a little bit to start this game off for Nameless, as Midnight's gonna take possession, looking for a little pass back to Jose, not gonna get it with the 50 by Jose, or Twisted J9. Looks like Shadow looked at Ufin, gonna try and catch it, but
so
Jimbo
awkward.
there in time. Here we are, Shadow coming in, clears off the sidewall, as Ufin's gonna try and set up Shadow. Both Midnight and Shadow do miss the ball though, and here we are, 0 goals. We've always seen a goal here within the first minute, but not today. Shadow gonna try and look for that first one, as Ufin, one more inch that might have been in his own net here. Gonna pre-flip to get that ball off the wall. Jimbo there in time. Will J9 be able to clear it? No, he's not. JT back in time. Ufin gonna clear it back to their own corner. Midnight takes it from the corner, but shut down immediately by that grand champion. Wow, another great 50. Ufin could take a shot, and Jimbo back in time avoids the demo here. J9 off the backboard, not gonna get it. Shadow coming in off the wall once again. The dish, Jimbo back in time. Gonna clear it off the off the sidewall up to the roof. No boost though. Ufin looking to go back downfield. A little back and forth game here in game 3. Shadow off the wall looking for Ufin. Or no, he's going to stay on that ball, going for a little solo play, but Midnight's going to be able to clear it. No boost from Midnight, so we can't really follow it up. Twisted J9 from the ceiling, trying to find Shadow for a shot, but he's not going to get it. Looks like Ufin popped to Shadow. Shadow shot on net. Saved! What a save by Jimbo. Almost slides in, but Jimbo there in time. Wow, what a save here in game 3. Shadow shot on net. Jose denies it. Jose, great 50 just to get it over the half field line, but Ufin gonna get beat by the ball to Jimbo. Ufin saved once again. Ufin really coming out, all of Nameless coming out in this game to not get closed out here, as we're coming in just over 2:30 in this game here, as Ufin clears it off backboard. Jose there. That could be open if Ufin can get this boost. It's like gonna try and go off the wall. Dish it to Shadow. Shadow shot! Denied by Jimbo! No player for Most Hated or Nameless is letting this ball go in their net. 2:20 to go. Shot. Jose gonna get denied. Twisted should be back. Gonna dish it just a half field, but Midnight's there. Shadow looking for a shot. Gonna go way too high. Ufin also up for that ball. Here comes the little pass plays. A little chemistry going here. Twisted gonna get all 3 of Most Hated jumping for this ball. A little bit bad communication here. Shadow up for the double. Not gonna get it. Is J9 there? Shot off the crossbar. Oh, how unfortunate. The shot that might have changed the game entirely. Ufin looking for a sidewall read. Gonna get it. Shots on net. Will Jimbo save it? Obviously. Jimbo clears past J9. Shadow gonna get beat by Jimbo. Jimbo looking for his middle teammate. Demo opportunity in the back of the net, but nobody there. J9 really like going off the ceiling here, but he's not gonna get that touch. As Midnight gonna fake it for Jimbo to take this ball. Shadow gonna clear it. Another great touch to follow up that, but Jimbo gonna demo him. Ufin, no boost, looking for the pass middle. J9, 50 at the goal line, and here we are just over a minute in this game. Here, Shadow, what do you gotta say about this? A little turnaround for Nameless here.
I mean, it's definitely looked better, but just as you say that, the flood walls finally break. Nobody back as Twisted J9 was awkward, and that is the lead for Most Hated. And I mean, for Nameless, you gotta feel for them. It feels like they've really improved, but it's just not enough to break through the power of Most Hated. Now they have a minute to go, and it is crunch time. You gotta go, and you gotta go fast if you want to keep this series going. Shadow trying to 50 it through, but it's gonna bounce back to the middle, but that's an important miss from Midnight, and this shot is gonna be put on, but Jimbo's quickly gonna be there for the coverage. Midnight trying to keep it out. Shadow keeps it in, though. Jimbo gonna have to catch this one and keep it away. And here comes that Nameless offense that we know it can be just so powerful. But just as they get going, they're shut right down. They got to go back packing, and it is not working out. They need to get downfield. But the man of your nightmares is sitting there staring you in the eyes, ready to shut you down, ready to end the series as Jimbo will score. And this one should be over.
Jimbo, obvious MVP of the game. Over 500 in every single game of this series, as he could have just sealed the deal to sweep this game here for Most Hated. As the demo is there, J9 just gets it over half. 5 seconds, clock winding down, and that could be game, and it will be as the ball hits the ground, and Most Hated will sweep the one and only Nameless Esports here in the first game of week 2.
A great job by Most Hated. We will see if they want to do interviews, but I mean, this was a really strong bounce back out of Most Hated. I think we needed to see that out of them, especially because they looked shaky against Thunderbolts and they ended up losing. So they really did need this win, kind of as a confidence booster as well. And they got it in terrific fashion. Now, we do actually have all of the most hated boys coming in for an interview. Guys, welcome in. How are you feeling?
Pretty good.
I'm good. How are you?
Amazing.
I'm feeling good. Now, obviously, I mean, you guys are coming off that loss to Thunderbolts. It didn't feel the best, but hey, you got the bounce back. What did you guys really need to do to produce this turnaround from week 1?
We were just playing.
Lock in. That's all you got to do.
I think you really did lock in.
Yeah, I
Not
think we
gonna lie.
did.
You yeah,
Well,
you
before
guys
this, we
definitely locked in.
before this, we scrimmed against lag, and we properly warmed up. You know, like we got to know each other, how we played.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair
We got farmed by
enough.
lag, by the way.
They farmed the living hell out of us.
They did.
Fair enough. Now, guys, looking ahead, I mean, obviously this is a great win out of you guys, and next week you've got Phoenix, another division opponent. Any thoughts, feelings, projections going into that game?
Good luck.
On that
Phoenix.
team.
That team is...
Jimbo!
Jimbo.
No, it's a normal question here at CL. I ask guys, your next opponents. I don't know. I just show up and play. That is
That's exact-
Bus, Charge, and Def Not a Fed.
Yeah.
Okay. Fed's
I
good
feel like,
for his
I feel
salary.
like they have a great chance versus Phoenix. I'm not gonna lie.
And I know Vox is good. From the
I'm just gonna say
Western.
this. I'm just gonna say this. I wish luck on Phoenix.
I
After
think
after
Whoa, whoa,
after
wait,
after
he's-
after we
he's
after we saw Jimbo drop 1K and then almost get another 1K in round 3, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That was phenomenal. Player of the
Yeah.
week, Jimbo. I'm not even.
Yes, sir.
That's my vote.
Probably, yeah.
Give him a P.
Fair enough. But
I
guys,
think-
that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for joining us here on the desk. Congratulations on your win. Make sure to take care and have a great night.
Good night.
GG's everyone.
That was most hated. I mean, what a win out of them. Improving that they are looking good. Now, looking at the weekly matchups, I mean, now we've got one in the books for week 2. But coming up in about 30 minutes, we have Spacebound Cowboys versus HSA. So we will send you guys off on a raid and then be live in about 15 minutes. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here on the desk tonight at Champions League. Thank you, Twix, for joining me. I mean, I wish that series was closer. I think it definitely could have been. But sometimes that's how it goes. We will see you all in about 30 minutes for HSA versus Spacebound Cowboys. We're gonna go right out to Ufin and make sure to throw him a follow, cheer him up. But guys, thank you so much, everyone. We love and appreciate each and every one of you guys. We hope you enjoyed the